guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a patio makeover. If you want to see what my patio looked like before, I use mine to cut my wood on. I actually use this table to paint on. I've got overspray on it. I'm going to show you today how to restore what you have and use things that you have to bring in to make a cozy space. So let's get started. And I would highly recommend starting with a clean slate. So just put everything up that you can. And then I came back in with a trash bag and I kind of cleaned out and got rid of things that are underneath my cabinet that I really don't need anymore, so that I could put some of the things that are on my cabinet under my cabinet because I really needed some space. Now don't move everything that's really heavy. You can kind of work around that. Just move things that are just creating clutter for you in that space. Then I'm using my leaf blower to get rid of most of the dust and clean out from underneath the table and stuff like that. It just works a little bit better than trying to sweep it. Clean the paint off of my table. I'm just using lacquer thinner, and I'm taking a Scotch-Brite pad, and I'm wearing gloves also. You definitely want to wear gloves while you're doing this. Just pour it on there, scrub it, and then you need to have a handy towel just near you, because if you don't wipe it off while it's still a little bit wet, it starts to evaporate and then the paint starts caking up around the corners. So you might have to wipe it down a couple of times with the lacquer thinner, and then grab your dry rag and wipe it off. And this table, just the tile part, only took me about maybe 20-25 minutes to clean every bit of it off. And I mean, I have years and years and years of paint on this. And it's better to try to use what you got. I mean, I'm going to restore this back to its original condition. I've had this table probably at least 12 years. And I'll show you when I get done how pretty it does turn out. So if you have things at your house already, try to reuse them. It really does save you some money. After I get a few of them done, I'm just going to take them out and I'm just going to set them on the counter because I am going to paint my table. But you can see how clean they're coming. I mean, they look just brand new right now. I do the same thing with my chair arms. They have overspray on them as well. And just don't rub so hard that you get all the way down to the metal, just enough to get the paint off. And it works pretty fast. I mean, I got all that paint off of there pretty fast. And I'm going to do all of my chairs that same way. They all had a little bit of overspray on them. You want to really get into the grooves on your table because we are going to paint this, and I'm starting with just a wet rag, but then I ended up going inside and I got these little corner brushes at from Amazon. I'll give you the link for them. These things clean so good. All you got to do is just sit there and rub it, and it goes into the corners really good too. And I got every bit of these clean with this little brush. This is a great one for even in your bathroom, behind your faucet. You can get into areas where you can't get with this little brush. And this probably didn't take me very long to do, but I am giving it a really good, thorough cleaning. And with the table, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the chairs. I'm just going to use the lacquer thinner, and I'm going to go all around it to get all the excess paint off of it. That way, when you put your next coat of paint on it, you won't have any raised areas. It'll be super smooth, and you'll get a nice finish on it. I'm going to show you here how to restore your rug to its original condition. Just grab your water hose and then put it on high pressure and spray your entire rug. Get it really saturated. And then you could do your indoor rugs this exact same way by bringing them out. A friend of mine who is a carpet cleaner and a rug cleaner showed me this technique. And then I'm just using some of the Spray Dawn dishwashing liquid, and I'm just going to spray it all over this rug. Now you don't have to put quite as much as I did. I kind of did a little bit more than I needed to because it took me a while to get the suds out. But really get it on here good, and then we're going to take a broom, just a regular push broom, and we're going to clean this rug. This rug got really dirty, and I brought it back to almost spotless clean. And then you're just going to want to brush it forward and backwards and get every bit of that. This works by itself pretty good. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on it. It didn't take a lot of effort. The brush pretty much cleaned it by itself. But I have a brush that has lots of bristles in it. That's what you want to use. And then just kind of get it wet between times. And then just keep going till you get it completely finished. And then when I finish hosing it off here in a minute, you can see how pretty it became. Now on little spots like that, you might have to get down there and use a little brush on there. And a little helper had to come along too, and just kind of the heavier spots, just kind of get in there with a little brush. And then just keep going until you have it completely done. And then we're just going to hose off the entire thing. And then you want to make sure that you get all the soap out of it. So you can see how much soap I have on here. You could have used a lot less soap than I did. But I want you to see how pretty it became after I got it completely rinsed off. And then I'm just going to take it and put it out in the sun to let it dry. But look how clean that came. And I've had this rug probably at least 4 years, and it looks brand new now. And then just get somebody to help you and carry it out and put it into the sun. My table ready for paint. I'm just going to hose it off completely. Then I'm going to take a wet rag and I'm going to wipe down the legs. I'm going to get it really clean, and I'm going to do the same thing with my chairs. And then I'm going to carry it out and I'm going to put it in the sun and let it dry. That's drying. I'm going to kind of clean up my little setting area. I built this on my channel about 3 years ago. I'll give you the link for it if you want to see how to build it. It's super easy and it's very affordable. And I'm just going to kind of wipe every single thing down first, and then I am going to stain it. And for my table, I am going to sand it down because we're in Texas, so anything that you leave sitting on a table, like a tray or anything like that, the sun comes through there and it will discolor it and make it different colors like that. So I am going to take the time to completely sand this down and my little small table. Okay, then I'm just going to stain this. I'm just applying this with a cotton rag. I'm using a darker stain than I did last year because it does kind of tend to lighten up a little bit with the sun. This is called Provincial and it's made by Minwax. It really is a pretty color. So just kind of go up and down with the wood grain and then do the sides as well. And this really didn't take that long to do. Now the posts that are under the table that join the table together, I am pulling those out, the short ones. I'm not going to do that on the long ones, but I am going to kind of clean them up because I do have quite a bit of dust on them. And I'm going to stain them with that same color stain. You don't have to sand this stuff down. I mean, really, just clean it up and then just restain over the top of it because you're going to have to redo it every few years anyways. And then I'm just going to put them right back in there to let them dry. And on my longer posts, I'm just kind of sliding them out a little bit to clean them up. And then I'm going to stain one end of them, put them back into the concrete pillars, and then stain the opposite end. You don't have to take these completely out. They are kind of heavy, so save yourself a step. Okay, to paint my table, I'm just going to throw a drop cloth down onto my patio, and then I'm just going to put my table right on top of it. And I'm going to spray it right on here. This drop cloth will collect all the overspray, and then it'll eventually dry. This is a really old one, and I use it a lot. Okay, now I'm going to start down at the bottom spraying this. Now I did pick a paint that was real similar in color to my table. So one coat across this is all I'm going to need. And I'm doing it real quick in sweeping motions, just one time. And then let it dry. But if you do get a paint that is real similar to what you have, it'll blend in real nicely. And that paint that I'm using right there, the nozzle on those are so nice that the spray comes out so even and perfect. My chairs, I'm just going to put a piece of paper on top of that. And then I'm using this little divider. It's just a little piece of cardboard, and I'm just coming straight down on the legs and getting those painted. I'm not going to be able to do right around where the fabric is because I would have to take it completely apart, and I don't want to have to do that. So I'm just kind of getting exactly where I can get by just kind of holding a piece of cardboard and then spraying it. And honestly, this did not take that long to do, and even though that I did not do the part that has the fabric on it, you couldn't tell once I got the legs and all the arms done. Now that I got everything restored back to its original condition, I mean, I really didn't think I was going to get it this good, and I'm telling you, this turned out so good. Look how clean that rug is. I'm just going to assemble my table, and then the fun part starts. I'm going to get to decorate it. But this table, I really honestly, when I started this video today, I really didn't think it was going to turn out as good as it did. But I'm telling you, it turned out so good that I think every 12 years I'm just going to repaint it. And I think I'm not going to spray paint on it anymore. We'll see. Quick trip to Lowe's to grab some plants for my patio, and I bought this dirt. It was $2 a bag. If you're looking for some dirt right now, it's usually $4.58. And then I'm going to grab these 2 boxwoods right here to put on my patio because in Texas, everything burns up, but boxwoods do really good in my backyard. I would highly recommend not skipping this step. Put a polyurethane sealer on the wood. That way it'll last for years. I didn't do it the very first time that I made this furniture. I wish I had. I just was in a hurry. But definitely don't skip this step because this really will preserve your wood and make it last a lot longer. I am going to take a minute just to clean everything up because dust and dirt gets in here, pollen. I mean, it gets pretty dirty out in the backyard. Just take some time to really clean up your space and you'll be surprised how much better it looks just by cleaning it up. And I'm just going to repurpose some planters that I already had. I just took them out in the yard and hosed them down. They had cobwebs all over them. I'm just going to wipe them down. And this is what I'm going to plant my boxwoods in. I'm putting one on this side of my little bench, and I'm going to put one on the opposite side of my bench. This area gets a lot of sun, so the boxwoods will do really well here. And my husband's actually planning a screen, put the screen up there behind the bench, and that's why his ladder and his little notebook is there, because he's making a plan. But I'm feeling these pretty full, and then I'm going to put my boxwood in top and then put a little bit more dirt in top. And these are like dwarf boxwoods, so I can kind of keep them shaped, and they should stay pretty small in here, about the size that they are now or a little bit bigger. And then I think I'm going to start shaping them into a ball once they start growing bigger. And then I'm planting one that matches it on the opposite side. If you really go through your things and see what you have, you can pull so many different things in from your home and reuse, even if you just have to do some painting on it or just cleaning it up. It really is good to try to use what you have first. Okay, next I made this little wagon using an IKEA crate. I'll give you the link for the video that I made that in if you're interested in making one. And then I bought this 6-pack of these little plants from Amazon. They're like $14 and you get 6 of them. They're really pretty. And I'm going to add 2 little citronella candles onto my table too, so that if I have outside guests or if we're dining outside, you're not attacked by the mosquitoes. Okay, today's video is sponsored by Lubana. They sent me these raised beds. They sent me 2 of them, and these are pretty good size. If you like to garden, but you don't necessarily want to keep bending over, these are great because they'll save your back, and you just kind of walk up to them and water your plants. And I'll probably do these in another video, kind of show you exactly what I'm going to do with them, but I think that they turned out really nice. And for the price point, I thought that they were definitely a really nice value. Look how pretty those are. And you can put all your tools, and you can even put some other plants just on the underneath side as well. And these are actually a really good size. You could put like a herb garden in here or something like that. And if you are interested in buying one, I'll give you the link in the description below, along with a coupon code that you could save 15% off if you wanted to buy one too. Okay, next I got these little solar lights from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to put these on my bench, just on the back part of it. And that way, if I want to come outside, then I have some nice light and it's not overpowering. Okay, next I had this little lantern top. It had a solar light in it, but it broke, so I saved it. I'm just kind of cleaning it up. I'm using one of the remote control little lights, and I'm just going to put it in here and set it out on my counter. I just brought a little lantern out that I had in my house, and I'm just going to kind of set them up on my countertop. I had these wires hanging out of my wall because I had a cabinet hanging up here that fell off, and so I bought these little light fixtures at Lowe's, and I'm going to put one on this side and one on the opposite side. Those lights were lights underneath a cabinet, so they're offset a little bit, but I'm just going to put these lights up there so I can cover up those little wires. Okay, just a recap of what it looked like before. If you just remove all the clutter and clean everything up, it really does make a difference. We tend to just kind of put things out on our back patio and then just leave it there and not put it up. And here is what it looks like now. Look how pretty that is. Everything's been repainted, cleaned up. I'm definitely going to try really hard to keep our space nice like this. I just brought some elements from inside to outside, a couple of little plants, a little platter. Just bring things in that you own already and clean up what you have. It's amazing what you can do if you do that. Look how clean that little rug came. And then the table, I mean, painting the chair arms and then cleaning all the paint off the table and repainting the table, it just brought it all back to life. And this is like a 12-year-old table. I think all this turned out really pretty. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you're going to redo your patio using things that you already have as well. If you like these kind of videos, be sure and give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when I have a new video upload. Thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And if nobody's told you today, you're awesome. See you next time. Thanks for watching.